You just did it again. Alone in the kitchen, muttering under your breath. Nobody was listening, but you said it anyway. Most people assume this is a quirk, a sign of stress, maybe, or boredom. But the real answer is far stranger. That voice in the kitchen isn't random noise. It's a leftover tool. One your brain built millions of years before language even had a name. Here's what's actually happening. Every human brain runs two systems of speech. The outer one you use with other people, and the inner one you use with yourself. Psychologist Lev Vygotsky studied this in the 1930s. He noticed that young children talk out loud constantly while they play, narrating their own actions step by step. He called it private speech, not for communication, for control. Watch a toddler stacking blocks. This one goes here. No, wait, too big. That's not performance. That's the brain thinking out loud because it hasn't yet learned to think silently. Somewhere around age 7, most of that talk goes underground. It doesn't disappear. It just moves inside your skull. Vygotsky believed inner speech becomes the scaffolding for adult thought itself. You didn't lose the habit of talking to yourself. You just got quieter about it. So why does it leak back out? Under pressure, the system overloads. Cognitive scientist Charles Fernyhough spent years recording people's inner voices and found that speaking a task out loud, even to an empty room, sharpens focus during difficult or unfamiliar moments. Your brain reroutes extra processing power into your mouth because talking forces you to slow down and sequence your thoughts one at a time. There's a reason this shows up most when you're searching for something. Psychologist Gary Lupyan ran an experiment where people looked for objects on a screen. Half said the object's name out loud while searching. The other half stayed silent. The talkers found their targets faster. Saying keys, keys, keys doesn't just describe the search. It sharpens the mental image guiding it. Now picture your ancestors on a real hunt. No maps, no labels, just a rustling in tall grass and a decision that has to be made in seconds. A quiet verbal cue, even a whispered one, could mean the difference between spotting danger and missing it. The habit that helps you find your car keys is the same habit that once helped a person track a predator through dense brush. This is where it gets stranger. Your inner voice doesn't just describe the world, it negotiates with you. Researcher Adam Winsler found that children use private speech most heavily during the hardest parts of a task, right when frustration peaks. The talking isn't decoration, it's a coping mechanism, a way of holding your own hand through difficulty. Adults do the exact same thing. You just call it thinking it through. Ever caught yourself giving yourself a pep talk before a hard conversation? Or narrating a recipe while cooking alone? That's not silliness. That's an ancient regulation system, borrowed from childhood, borrowed from a species that needed to plan hunts, track threats, and remember instructions with no written language to fall back on. And it explains something else. People who talk to themselves during tasks tend to perform better on tests of memory and self-control. The voice isn't a symptom of a wandering mind. It's evidence of a mind actively managing itself. So the next time you catch yourself muttering while searching for your phone or coaching yourself through a stressful email, you're not being strange. You're running a system built before spoken language had rules, refined over millions of years of survival, still working exactly as designed. Tonight, when the house goes quiet and you hear your own voice fill the silence, you won't think it's odd. You'll know exactly what it's doing there.